Rishabh Pant was injured so badly. Nobody in the world could imagine that he can play back for India cricket team again. But that was the miracle of medicine 2.0.
Yeah.
But when it came to the trendy diseases which are there right now, blood pressure, hypertension,
NCDs, all the
obesity,
non-communicable.
diabetes. If there is a person who comes with anxiety, we suppress the anxiety, we
By
increase
giving the
chemicals.
serotonin.
Same goes with diabetes, same goes with obesity. Nobody is able to crack it. So then medicine 3.0's approach is proactive health.
There was a patient of mine, ESR is high, CRP, HSCRP, homocysteine, everything is high. So the sad part was patient should not be sent like this. There has to be connection of dots from our end also.
First of all, as doctors, we need to understand medicine 3.0 is the era where data, technology, your lifestyle, everything is going to merge. When I explored the underwater world, it blew me completely. All humans reflexly achieve once they are near water, underwater, around water, or over water, or just seeing a picture of water, or listening to the sounds of water. This is a natural reflex, and this is our real hidden 70% connection to the universe.
Welcome to the Science of Beauty and Wellness by Dr. Anjali Hooda, where real stories meet with real science and health is not limited to diet charts and creams. Being an internal medicine doctor and then going into functional medicine later, I realized that being holistic and giving a holistic approach to the body and to healing is the most important way to look at health in the future. In this series, we sit down with bold voices, the change makers, from pilots to actors, fitness leaders to wellness pioneers, with their inspiring stories on health and wellness and discipline. This is your space to learn, reflect, and glow from inside out. Hi, welcome to another episode of Science Meets Beauty and Wellness, and it can be beauty inside out too. So we're not only talking about aesthetics ever, we're talking about a lot of cellular health. So today with me regarding this is an amazing biohacker colleague of mine, Dr. Arpit Bansal. He is a cancer surgeon, laparoscopic cancer surgeon. He's a biohacker. He's a TEDx speaker, longevity expert, and so many more things he does that I kind of at a loss of words. So Dr. Arpit, welcome to the show, and I want you to introduce yourself better than I did.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, Dr. Anjali. It's a pleasure to be on this podcast, and I'm feeling honored actually. So before we begin, this biohacking term is very fancy, right? So let me introduce you a little bit about me. So I'm a cancer surgeon, a gut specialist, and a laparoscopic cancer surgeon. I run a 200-bedded hospital in Allahabad. So I'm the hospital director also. The journey towards I am doing great in my traditional medicine career, but all these years I've dived deep that why about illness, about health, and so I'm a medicine 3.0 expert. That's what I called myself, and that is connected to the gut microbiome and longevity health in general.
Yeah.
So I've devised a protocol 4-body biohacking blueprint, which we'll talk. And I just like to flow with life and make people flow in life by achieving flow state more often, which is again a neuroscientific state which we can achieve. So
we'll talk about that flow state 100%.
I call myself the Aquaman Biohacker. And
I was wondering why, because you do underwater meditation.
Yes, because of my connection to elements. So all my deep diving into biohacking, into longevity started with water and is continuing to be water with flow state.
Okay.
So that is who I am. I am connected to nature. So I say that out loud, that nature is my biggest teacher. I have learned everything from nature. What I am today is because of nature.
You are a wildlife photographer.
So I'm a wildlife photographer. I'm a bird photographer, amongst the top 10 in India. Then I do scuba diving. So I'm an advanced scuba diving. I'm an ocean conservationist. I I gave my first TEDx speech actually based on planets, how to conserve planet biodiversity. That was my first TEDx speech actually.
I remember that because I heard you in the conference, right?
Yeah. So let's see where this goes. I'm these days, I will talk about it again. I am also, so tomorrow I'm going to Berlin and I'm going to speak on my Blue Mind philosophy at a transdisciplinary symposium on placebo research
Hmm.
happening at an institute called as Existential Research Institute. Why life exists. So this is like a very, very deeply scientific audience.
Yeah.
Probably
But nothing medical though.
So no, but placebo is
Yeah.
everything related to medicine
Yeah,
and
it is.
longevity and biohacking, and so that's what I want to prove and put my point, that connecting to water, you can biohack yourself. And how does placebo work? Placebo works by biology of belief.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
there is that biology is based on quantum biology also. This is
Yeah.
also proven.
Yeah.
So that's what
It's
it's going to be very interesting. Yeah.
No, it is going to be very interesting. Dr. Arpit is also a singer.
Not a singer. So
But you made music.
So I made music with AI.
Yeah.
I am new to AI.
But but the
lyrics is mine.
The lyrics is what
Yeah,
is
yeah. So
what
the
got me, right?
Yeah. So the lyrics is my biohacking protocol, and
that's why when you said ultra
you won't
human,
believe there are like tens of people right now based in Germany, Switzerland, France,
Hmm.
who are saying like it's become their mantra. And one of my very close friends, he's like a big time Mind Valley speaker. He speaks on hand analysis and science behind it. And he says that every time he go to a meeting, before that he meditates 2 minutes on one of the other songs, which also you should listen.
I'll get it on
It's called
Spotify.
The Quantum Mirror.
Quantum Mirror.
And
Yeah.
Go
I was
with the flow
just
part
telling
two.
my kids that you're on it's called Go with the Flow. It's
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was telling these guys also.
Hmm.
So before we begin and dive into this interesting world of biotechnology and biohacking and everything, I'd like to tell you that the color of these glasses is very much motivated from Dr. Bansal, because I saw him wearing it at a conference, and he told me the scientific background, and which I would like to share with the viewers from your mouth. That what is the scientific background of wearing this shade of
this is a very interesting question, one of my favorite ones. So what is yellow light blocking glasses? It blocks basically the blue light. So it's like a blue light filter. So what before that, let's jump back. So when I talk about health these days, first of all, health is the biggest issue for most Indians and even outside Indians.
Yeah.
That we regard health, we only connect to health with a disease-centric approach.
Yes, that's.
If I don't have any disease, so I'm healthy. So why should I get tests done? Why should I do this and etc. etc.
Yeah.
But health is so much more. Health is where you thrive, where you perform,
Yes.
where you flow, where you evolve with life, and that is what real health is. And so here the picture of health optimization comes into play.
Yeah.
And how like so many people, like I was not a runner. 1 year back I started this. I have run marathons. I've run 4
when
different
did you
marathons.
start running?
I was always fit, healthy,
Okay.
but I was not a runner.
Being runner is difficult. It's not easy.
It's not an easy journey,
Yeah,
but it's so just that's what I'm trying to prove to the world, that everyone, instead of being disease centric and stuck on health, we all should change our perspective. So this perspective shift is where I want to discuss today in depth. That is the main thing. If people start looking health as more of health optimization,
Yeah.
not some superhuman capabilities, not like people watch Brian Johnson videos on biohacking.
Yeah,
he's
all
great.
the time. He's great. Yeah.
He's great. I'm not denying that. But all these fancy hacks makes people believe that biohacking is very fancy.
Yeah.
And it's for astronauts, it's for elite athletes. Today, and my journey here is to discuss that biohacking is very basic. It's your elemental root connection, and that's what I made a biohacking blueprint. That when we talk about health in general, we have always been told that you have just one body, protect it, nurture it. Definitely that. But try to shift your perspective and you view yourself as 4 different bodies. And probably a 5th one is emerging too. I'll talk about it later. But let me give you my original 4-body blueprint first.
Yeah.
That is, we are 4 different bodies. Our earth body, because our physical body literally goes back to the earth.
I remember from your conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, please.
And your water body or your emotional body, because like water and emotions both flow within you and outside you.
Yeah.
And the third is the air body or the mental body,
Yeah.
which is where everything lacks. Like we say that we are actually living in our thoughts, in our mind, and that's where we live actually. What is happening in the external world is your choice, whether what you want to perceive or not.
Yeah.
And the 4th is the fire body or the spiritual body. At the onset, you might feel that I'm talking a little bit tilting more towards spirituality and what is soul. But this is what true life is. And if you want to be healthy, then you have to biohack. More
All
of
four.
hacking, actually, you have to sync with
All
your
four.
4 bodies. Syncing is more important. Since you asked me that yellow question, so I'm building the background.
Yeah.
So for that, when we used to, when we were hunter gatherers, we used to live in nature. We used to live in forest.
Yeah.
We used to wake up with our sunlight.
Yeah.
So everything in life is cyclic. So is our body cycle. So is our body core temperature. So is our sleep. So is our gut. So is everything.
Yeah.
And the clock resets with the first rays of sunlight in your eyes. There is actually a master clock in our bodies, something called as a suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's a very small brain organ. And initially we used to believe that this suprachiasmatic nucleus is the main thing which contains our clock. There were experiments like 20 people put in darkness for 1 year and then studied their biological clocks. So it was found that everybody had similar clocks, but most people had 25-hour daily clocks. Some had 24 and a half hours. So that the point I'm trying to prove, the moment you wake up, you have to sync all the 4 above mentioned bodies into the earth time, into this timeline. Timeline collapse and all these possibilities, we believe it's sci-fi, but it is real life. And this is the basics of biology. And so in that way, we used to wake up with sunrise. We used to absorb the morning light. That light we need, and it activates it sets our clock to the earth clock. Then your gut is on the track. Your liver is on your track. Your breath is on sync with the earth's biology. So when everything is synced, you perform optimally. So similarly, when during your day, your core body, as soon as moment you wake up, we're talking about sleep pressure. So the sleep pressure, it builds the melatonin and the adenosine have a cycle. And so after like around 9 in the morning, when there is too bright sunlight, you should wear sunglasses when you are outdoors to protect from the harmful UV light. But when the day ends, you should try and give that absorption of the evening sunlight also. If you have windows, then try and see the sunset if you want better sleep quality. And after that, so when we used to go back to the hunter-gatherers approach, when the sun used to set, there were no artificial lights. There were no lights only. And once the sun is set, it was dark. Probably we would light a fire, we'll cook our meal and then go to bed, because there was no again disturbing YouTube, Instagram,
nothing,
podcast, anything, nothing, no distractions. So we were bound to go to sleep. This was how nature made us. And we used to prosper. There were no vitamin deficiencies. Movement was a natural part of our life. We didn't, because we used to walk for kilometers. We used to run and chase animals. We used to climb trees. So our grip strength, everything was automatically stable. Then we invented light. Then humans have a habit of getting more out of everything. So we wanted more out of our nights. We invented music, dance, social activities. I'm not saying we should not engage socially, but not in the night. We are not supposed to view bright screens, and most of us are on our screens.
Most of the time we're on the phones.
So, and even if we are conscious biohackers, we still want. We can't avoid because we are going in the street lights after 7 p.m. So the headlights are very, very strong, and they messes up with our melatonin and adenosine balance. So it's our sleep pressure is gone. No wonder this is the root cause of all diseases, because nobody is able to get the quality of sleep and uninterrupted sleep like you used to get when you were sleeping in the mother nature.
Absolutely.
So this is a biohack, again, a little bit pricey biohack, like not that pricey, but you need to spend some money. I talk about also free biohacks which are available in nature, like hugging a tree is a blue mind activity. We'll talk about that.
I will tell you a fun fact. I hug a tree in Kana forest, and my brother has some land. I hug a tree.
How did you feel? Tell me that.
I felt great, except ants started crawling over me. So
probably imagine your scenario that ants are not there and you are hugging.
No, I felt good.
So what do you feel about your heart rate? Was it going up or was it going down?
It was calmer.
So that was
it was definitely parasympathetic.
Yeah, 100%. That's
definitely.
So So when you wear yellow glasses, you cut the unnecessary blue light which we are not supposed to absorb, and your quality of life improves. your quality of sleep improves, your metabolic flexity improves. You will see, if you trace it deeply, your insulin sensitivity, your everything will improve.
Right? No, I can 100% agree with you.
And-
I've been wearing it for like almost 10 days now,
Mhm.
maybe more. But I really like it.
And indoors, when you're there, it is a more productive focus lens.
Yes, it
so
is,
you're
it is,
you're
it is.
bound to be more focused.
Yeah. When I look at paper with this light,
Hmm.
I find it to be more focusing. It's
Sorry,
more
I have
clearer.
a habit of going into the flow and going.
No,
answering
that's
questions
fine. No,
very
I
deeply sometimes.
like the flow. I love the flow.
Hmm.
So another flowy thing I want to ask you is water.
Hmm.
Like you call yourself the Aquaman, right?
Yes.
So what is about water that let's say you're going inside water, you like to be in water?
So I get what you're trying to ask.
Yeah.
So let's start with the full blue mind and the red mind version. So how did I get into this? Let's start from there.
Let's start from there.
So there was once a patient like around 5 years back. She was a terminal stage cancer. That patient's attitude towards life changed me deeply because
I was
she
going
was
to come to the change. How did the change happen?
So it was like she was very terminal ill. I despite explaining everything, despite doing everything, there was no chance that she was going to make. But her courage towards life and taught me that treating cancer or treating disease is not just curing the disease.
Yeah.
It's so much more giving dignity, time to the patient and understanding the cure and overall biohacking and understanding the 4 bodies again. So that time I didn't had this concept in mind. So then I started diving deep. And at the same time, I was, so we will talk about universal synchronicities. Lots of coincidences started to happen when that patient incident happened. Initially, I used to get very emotionally involved with all patients. Now I don't, because I have evolved on a different level, because obviously for our own safety, you cannot get emotionally attached with every patient. So after that incident, lots of synchronicities started to happen in my life. I started seeing like around 3.5 years back. I started seeing numbers, random numbers every day. 3-1-1-1.
We all go through that. Yes.
And everywhere the same patterns. The person whom I used to think about, he or she will call. So this has continued since last 3 years. So then it started me to study the science of synchronicities, why synchronicities happen. So it's about like your parallel version of yourself giving you signals. This is what the current scientific meaning is. So, and I started diving deep. I was always into nature. Bird watching is my favorite hobby. And I started diving into the element of water. At the same time, I read a book called The Blue Mind, which changed my course of my life. At the same time, my brother, he made me, we were trying to do scuba diving since many years. Last 10 years we had registered, but we couldn't do because of the busy schedule. But finally we did scuba diving, and being a bird watcher and a very passionate involvement and connection with nature and owls specifically, when I explored the underwater world, it blew me completely, because it made me open that for humans, again, coming back to our air or the mental body, we are all living our lives in our brain, and if we are not seeing that underwater beauty, then we truly don't know what nature is, what life is, and why we are here. So
I agree.
And we were talking about synchronicities, like in life you meet so many people, like we are having this podcast today. So I don't believe like any coincidences happen, and when
I believe firmly that no coincidence.
Coincidences are something which doesn't exist in science, and these are synchronicities. And when they are happening, then you have to get aware and try to understand life. There was a big stark, since you asked me the question about water, and we both agree that there are no coincidences. There are definitely deeper synchronicities with coherence and with a lot of flow and just higher energy, which is trying to tell you something. And then how can we not dive deep into that 70% of the planet Earth is water and 70% of the human body is water? So I was curious, extremely curious, like a child. Literally, I was that curious as a child. I wanted to know why nobody's talking about it. Like seeing 111, seeing random numbers is one thing, but this is our life. And so I started deeply talking about it, reading about it. and that then one thing led to another. So then I started diving. That changed. That patient was a perspective shift towards life,
Really?
towards healing, towards holistic health. You may call it.
Yeah.
In India, actually, when we talk about holistic health, because of Ayurveda is great.
We associate it with more like Ayurveda and massages and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Ayurveda is great, but and plus India, there is another step because of a lot of quackery. Everything is everybody is going wrong ways. So holistic health is no more truly holistic in India, at least, except at a good centers.
No, I don't think there's like when I talk about wellness, that wellness is only about massage, Shirodhara, or some kind of Ayurvedic treatment. Wellness center means much more.
100%.
Wellness
center cannot be a wellness center if it is not catering the 4 bodies.
Agreed.
And there's the 5th body which we are coming. So I recently finished a book called Life on the Edge.
Okay.
And the coming age of quantum biology.
Okay.
As biologists and as doctors, we quantum physics, you might have heard a little bit about
I've
that.
heard.
So, but and physics and biologists usually stay very, very poles apart, right? So biology was not adapting this concepts of physical quantum physics. But now it has been proven that photosynthesis, the process, is a quantum mechanical process.
Really?
It cannot be everything of the accuracy of how the plants, the chlorophylls convert solar energy into chemical food cannot be proved by the classical laws of physics.
Yeah.
So now, and there are so many processes. Enzyme activity, all these things cannot be predicted by a normal classical laws of physics.
Yeah.
There is something called as quantum tunneling, that quantum particles can penetrate impenetrable borders, impenetrable things.
Right.
And so these all things take us to another level of biology which is coming up. And with AI coming up now, we that's a very common.
So tell me, how does it translate into patient care? Does it?
So in patient care, in patient care, we'll all be able to take care only when AI comes into the picture. Like we talk about preventive health, with AI and the medicine 3.0 approach. Medicine 2.0, let's begin again from the medicine 1.0, medicine 2.0 and medicine 3.0, so that our audience gets a clearer picture. Medicine 1.0 was when the antibiotics, even before the antibiotics
before
were
the
discovered.
Antibiotics,
so when we used to Ayurvedic treatment, like when we were in jungles, literally.
Herbal treatments.
If there's a wound, you'll put a neem leaf or etc., turmeric, etc. So when there was no antibiotics, our lifespan or our health span was very poor at that time. We used to live like 30s, 40s. And then suddenly antibiotics discovered. And after that, over the many decades, at the same time, the fertilizers were also discovered. So we started mastering the infectious biology, and COVID was an exception, but people stopped dying from infectious causes. Lesser numbers.
Longevity increased.
Our lifespan increased to 70, 60. That was normal. So that was a beautiful discovery. The antibiotics, again, a part of the living world, because but again, that didn't. So medicine 2.0 is great for infections, for trauma. That was the medicine 2.0 era. Rishabh Pant was injured so badly, and nobody in the world could imagine that he can play back for India cricket team again. But that was the miracle of medicine 2.0. That such a badly trauma patient is playing cricket for Indian cricket team. So that is the wonder and miracle of medicine 2.0. But when it came to the trendy diseases which are there right now, the chronic lifestyle diseases. That is like the blood pressure, hypertension,
NCDs,
obesity,
all the non-communicable.
diabetes, cancer is also a little bit
comes in that bracket.
Because why it causes inflammation, will come there. So all those things, diseases, cancer to a matter, medicine 2.0 is still treating like with surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. But BP ke liye, if any patient comes to you or a normal doctor, he gives antihypertensive which suppresses the BP. If there is a person who comes with anxiety, we suppress the anxiety, we
By
increase
giving the
chemicals.
serotonin receptor.
So that is, and
Yeah.
same goes with diabetes, same goes with obesity. Nobody is able to crack it. And with peptides, that's a different story now.
Yeah. With peptides, it's become much more easier.
So then medicine 3.0 approach is proactive health. Since you asked me how it applies to patient, it is proactive health. So first change in our perspective is where I told earlier, where we had to change our perspective towards health in general. We should not be able to, we should be able to take care of our own health. And in such exciting worlds we are living, it'll be a normal change that we'll be living 120, 130. Every other person is going to most likely live there. So why not be in our optimal shape? And
absolutely.
you can save a lot of more money, but till now there is no living tissue which can be regenerated, like made from scratch. So it is important to be in your optimal health right now, and that's where proactive health or medicine 3.0 comes into place.
Right.
So where it begins with the gut microbiome.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It begins with the hydration, the cellular hydration.
Yeah.
So when we are talking deeply about health optimization, we need to dive deep and yet have a wider perspective. So we need to look at very, very close, microscopically, cellular dehydration, antioxidant at the cellular levels, etc., etc. And look from the wider perspective of the 4 different bodies. The earth body.
Right.
So both approaches have to merge. And that's, so AI, with AI coming in, it is medicine 3.0 is the era where data, where technology, and where AI, your data, your lifestyle, is everything is going to merge. We'll all very soon have a dashboard, which these rings and everything are kind of giving just hints of what is coming. And your data, how many steps, automatically what workouts are you doing, what, like this bottle already is recording my ppm of hydrogen, how much molecular hydrogen I'm consuming per day. So these things are automatically going to integrate, and everybody will get a clear picture of our health, so that we can optimize it. Without this, we can only do if we stay in our blue mind. Because most people don't go and get tested.
It's also self-discipline.
It's self-discipline 100%.
Self-motivation.
But we have to value life in general. Then only we can do this. Because imagine, like, people die at 70s, 60s, 90s. But if everybody is going to live at 130, 140 or 150, what are we going to do in those 40, 50 extra years? We can do so many things. And if you don't have that drive, that passion, then you're not going to make those 30, 40 extra years happy. I call myself the Aquaman Biohacker because I believe that I'm connected to water, and I am not saying that I am the only Aquaman Biohacker. There can be so many other Aquaman Biohackers. And I envision a journey where we can all together prosper and save ourselves, is by making a team so-called like a Captain Planet series we used to see when we were children. Air, water.
Well, you were much younger to me, so maybe I didn't watch it as much as you did.
I don't know. That song struck me very much. And so I already have a person whose name is Ere. And so she's the air biohacker. I already have a person, my friends who are like, they call themselves a little bit a Terra biohacker, that the earth biohacker.
Right.
And I am sure I'll find somebody on the path where I'll find that she calls, or he calls him or herself the fire biohacker.
Nice.
So we can all form a team. That's like a hypothetical vision, but that's okay.
That's fine.
So because water as a element, again 70%, we are aging because of cellular dehydration.
Definitely.
Look at a plant. A young leaf is green and hydrated, and a older leaf is dead and brown and dehydrated. Same is with humans. A newborn is born with 70% water in his or her body, and at the age when anybody is 60, there's only 60% water in a person, average person. So it's a clear trend. Nature has already cracked the codes of longevity, health, everything. We just need to follow it. So I have been doing underwater meditations, and that activates the
How long is your underwater?
No. So I sit at 30 minutes under the pool with the tank. And without the tank, my breath hold is 3.5 minutes, which is training my CO2 tolerance.
I'll interrupt you there. There was a patient of mine who came and said that ESR is high, CRP, HSCRP, homocysteine, everything is high. So the sad part was, what I'm going to talk is like that when a patient goes to a doctor, everybody is referring here and there.
Correct.
Right? So the patient not getting a solution. कोई कहता है ऑर्थो के पास जाओ, वो कहता है जी इंटर्निस्ट के पास जाओ, वो कहता है जी एंडो के पास जाओ, वो कहता है जी अब फिजियो पे
That's
जाओ.
the problem.
So there is so much compartmentalization that has happened. What in our community as doctors we should be doing, that patient should not be sent like this. You know, there has to be connection of dots in from our end also.
Yes, very
Right? Whether you are a cancer surgeon and I'm in internal medicine, connection of dots. So we study the whole human body together,
yes.
right? In
so
medicine.
I think again that's what the perspective shift, and it's exactly what you said. If there is a person with inflammation comes to you, she may have inflammation anywhere in the body, but it has to be healed from all the fronts. You can't just go to an internal medicine, take some anti-inflammatory and just suppress the emotion, inflammation. That leads
and
to
emotion also.
Emotion and inflammation, because ultimately that builds up to cancers, inflammation, allergies, everything. The root cause is this. So, and this, first of all, as doctors we need to understand, and like if there is so many things like doctors are prescribing antibiotics in India, it is crazy.
We just talked about this, like
what?
I think the bad microbiome of an average Indian is 80% due to antibiotic use.
100%. Very true, because so microbiome is everything, and I think it should be a test which everybody should do it on themselves to understand their own lifestyle. It's like biohacking is experimenting with your own body in a science-backed way.
And if you don't see it, you don't believe it.
Yes, you don't see it. So as doctors, first of all, get your own gut microbiome test done, and not just once. At least annually.
Correct.
At least
the price factor sometimes becomes a problem in a lot of patients. I mean, there
definitely.
are now Indian companies
doing that 8 to 10,000, which is very reasonable for the information which you get out of that test.
We've been doing the Indian one more now, because we find the cost factor is just too much, because we want to keep repeating it.
No, Indian ones is good, and because they work on Indian microbes specifically, so that
so
is
the
even better.
population is the comparative population is very good. Very apt for us. So okay, so have we finished the water or no?
Not yet. Water always keeps flowing on the side. That's what my philosophy is.
Yes.
So basically, when I read about all this Blue Mind, there was a book I mentioned about Blue Mind.
I'm gonna take a note of that.
So in that, then I connected everything of.
What do you do? Read Kindle or actual paperback?
I have a habit of having Audible and the physical book, both.
Okay.
I don't have I sometimes I read, sometimes I listen during my run, then sometimes I read again. So it's like I just flow like water. So about that Blue Mind, the book mentions about Blue Mind is a state which was coined by this marine biologist Wallace Nicholas, which is a state of calmness, peacefulness, happiness, a sense of well-being in the now. And this all humans reflexly achieve. Again, I repeat, all humans reflexly achieve once they are near water, underwater, around water, or over water, or just seeing a picture of water, or listening to the sounds of water. This is a natural reflex, and this is our real hidden 70% connection to the universe. So the problem is that I am going too ahead in this, but the problem is that most people live in our red mind state. And now as
क्या हुआ था और क्या होगा?
Exactly. Now,
there's no now.
There is no now. And breathing, meditation, everything comes back to the now. As doctors, we need to understand that. So we need to equate the red mind to our sympathetic nervous system, the fight or the flight response, and blue mind to our parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm not saying that red mind is bad. Without red mind, you cannot do things.
Motivation will be gone.
Exactly.
Right?
No, motivation, dopamine can be in both blue and the red mind, but to drive, to do, is red mind is the thing.
To go getter attitude. No?
Yes. So you have to. Red mind is good. Red mind makes you alert. Red mind makes you focus. Red mind makes you do things. But problem is that current generation is living in a constant state of red mind. Take an example of any teenager getting up late, first thing WhatsApp, Instagram, ping, ping,
Yeah,
ping,
yeah,
ping,
yeah.
notification. Stop all
Snapchat,
notifications for your phone.
Snapchat.
And so it that is what we are triggering our attention span towards impulsivity, towards reflexivity. We are like feeding that become anxious. We are feeding, and new synaptic connections in our brain are every time forming. That's the wonder, again proved, that we keep on learning. Neuroplasticity initially used to say that below 20-25 our only children are neuroplastic, but our brains are neuroplastic at any age. And if you are triggering with this red mind activity, then what life are you living? A life of inflammation, a life of red mind all the time. So when we talk about exercise, uh, exercise is divided into three parts, and everybody, you cannot choose between gym or yoga.
Yeah.
You cannot, there are three parts to exercise. Everyone has to do everything, not definitely daily, but as per your body, as per your schedule.
As it allows.
One is cardiovascular training or endurance training, or running or walking or cycling, any kind of mild or to moderate to severe cardiovascular exercise.
Correct.
That trains zone 2 training, helps your cardiovascular health in general overall.
Yeah.
And you can do some bursts of zone 5 training to train your VO2 max.
Right.
The second is muscle health. After 40, you're losing 1% of your body muscle mass, and after
Very
50
important.
you're losing 2% of your body muscle mass if you're not training, which definitely directly accelerates aging. And with VO2 max is a parameter, which VO2 max for our listeners is the thing which it measures how much oxygen you can actually use, especially during exercise. So it's a very, very trainable parameter, and you can actually train your physical fitness. And it is like
you see most of the athletes are doing VO2 max training.
And I'll tell you one interesting fact. VO2 max is such a strong predictor of health or life risk, death predictor. It outperforms cholesterol, smoking, and diabetes combined, the risk. If you, I'm not saying that you should smoke or you should drink, but if VO2 max, if your VO2 max is higher, and then you can get away with all of the other things.
Because there are some people whose VO2 max is good, and they could be doing all sorts of shitty stuff. And still they live longer,
Exactly.
Disease free.
That disease free. That's the basic thing which we are saying. So, and the number 4th is muscle strength, which I already told. You should train your muscles every day, or if possible as per your schedule. Number 5 for your physical body was sleep. We already talked about in depth. Then going to the water or the emotional body is the balance between the blue mind and the red mind. Be in more blue mind every day. Be conscious about it. You have to be in more
happiness is a choice, like they say.
Happiness is a choice. Number 6 for your water body was blue mind and the red mind. Number 7 was HRV mastery. Another
thing I've been measuring on the book is
heart rate variability. This is my most beautiful parameter, because it measures what we need to fight the current life with, which is inflammation, the biggest killer we already discussed. Be it cardiovascular, be it brain killing, be it obesity, be it diabetes, be it gut health, everything, the root cause is inflammation. So you can only counteract that by building your resilience. And that resilience word is now can be measured by heart rate variability through devices like which we are all wearing. I'm wearing a Aura, Ultrahuman, Gabit, Whoop. But the point I'm trying to prove is you can measure resilience. And as a biohacker, I simply say to everybody, you can't measure things. You cannot improve things if you don't measure them.
If you don't see them.
If you don't measure them,
there has to be a measurable thing. You can't say,
but again,
stress
I say that every time with the blue mind. If those numbers start making you more anxious, like
there are people who have put a glucometer on. They say, we don't want to use the sugar reading. We don't want to see that because it makes us very anxious.
Exactly. That means you are a very, very unevolved in conscious state which you are living. Any person who says that, I think they are not evolved, because they are like burying their health, or they don't want to know the secrets of their health. They might be in great shape.
No. I'm talking about people out of shape.
But even I'm just saying, with the mindset, the mindset is everything for our health and longevity, for our life. And if you are at the mindset that I don't want to know what my health is, so then you are at the mindset.
Some people don't get tested also.
Exactly.
They don't want to do blood tests.
Health optimization.
कुछ निकल आएगा. अरे कुछ निकल आएगा तो solve भी हो जाएगा, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Anything can be solved these days with
Yeah, yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
So heart rate variability, coming back to it, is a
Hmm.
beautiful parameter because it measures the variation of your heart. So for example, if you're walking through a forest, a tiger comes into we see a roar of or hear a roar of a tiger, our heart rate will climb up, right? That is our red mind getting activated. We'll do whatever it takes to protect us and our loved ones. Then after that, situation settles and we calm down. Our heart rate comes down again. Our blue mind picking up again. So it is the variation that matters, and how, if you're a trained, resilient person, then with the tiger coming, your heart rate will definitely rise because you need the red mind, but it won't go 170, 180, it'll go less.
Yeah.
And when the period passes, you'll get calmer down faster and more deeper. So it's a very complicated parameter because it ideally requires 24 hours of your heart rate rhythm continuously throughout the day. That is why all these devices are inaccurate. 12, 13 are reading just 10 minutes a day is such a powerful mental biohack. Read something which you don't have any clue about. Obviously read something which you are
Interested
in, but, and obviously your field of expertise, but for keep being more curious. Read something 10 minutes which you are curious about, which you don't have too much knowledge about. What we talk about is hardcore science. You should not just follow random trends. You should follow science. And if something looks too magical, it probably is. You should stick down to basics like hydration, gut, what we have been talking about. This is the basic. For most things, you can.
How do you get this water bottle?
By ordering it online.
No, that's fine. But how do you do the timer on it? Yourself?
Yeah, it's connected to my app also.
Okay.
I just have to press play, and there is a molecular hydrogen in it, so you'll see bubbles floating here.
Yeah, I saw that before, and I wanted to ask you, how do you monitor how much is good?
So 2-3 pumps you can do. You can drink like at least 3 to 4 liters of this.
Okay.
Especially more on traveling. The biohack which I was telling about, jet lag, which I biohacked my jet lag. I had rhodiola.
Please tell about the biohacking jet lag, because I have a lot of
I have made a reel on it, all what I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I will watch that. That is interesting. We need to watch that reel. Yeah. No, because it's very important. Jet lagging is and jet lag doesn't only mean like you're traveling. Even domestic travel can.
Yeah, exactly. You have to first understand what quantum theories and what realm we are living in actually.
No, you make us understand in summary so that we don't have to read about quantum physics.
No. So ask GPT.
We are asking Dr. Arpit.
No. Simple things. See, I can explain the concept, but basic things. Try and use.
No. I would say if you say that hydrogen water is good for us, then
no. About hydrogen water is a different thing. See, hydrogen water. Why is it good? We remember from our chemistry, hydrogen is number 1 element in the periodic table. So it is the smallest element. And if you think of life, life began in the sun's core, which is again basically hydrogen molecules. Hydrogen merged by quantum jumping, tunneling, etc. to helium. Then from helium, third element, or then slowly carbon, and everything started.
And that evolved from hydrogen.
So hydrogen is the most potent antioxidant given in our cellular level, because it's the smallest molecule. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. It brings down brain and inflammation. It brings out mental clarity. Mental fogging brings down. It brings down inflammation everywhere. So it's not, nothing is in life. Anything which you're hearing here, you will only get benefits if you're consistent on it.
Yeah. You can't just buy a bottle and then keep it later.
There is no magic pill that once you pop and you'll become limitless, like the movie Lucy.
It's a conscious effort. It's a repetitive conscious effort.
Exactly. So longevity, in the pursuit of longevity, we often chase the newest molecule. We often chase the latest tech. But we need to understand that our biology cannot be our health span cannot be hacked. The health span cannot be hacked. That it needs to be synchronized. So the 4 things which I say in the end like this is, you need to sync with your biology about circadian rhythm, your whatever all we discussed. You need to flow with your breath. You need to respect your mitochondria, and you need to honor your gut. These are my...
How do you respect mitochondria?
Respect mitochondria by trying to understand how it works. And then this cellular hydration...
I see a lot of mitochondrial dysfunction patients. Lots of them. Most of the fatigue is coming from mitochondrial dysfunction. So what do you mean when you say that that respect it? Like, how do we respect
By
it?
understanding the autophagy, the mitophagy process, and when you're like, for most athletes and for most people are overstraining
Right.
and not getting the right nutrition. If you're working out and you're not having the correct protein, if you're not getting your sleep, if you're not getting your adequate hydration, and hydration is not just having molecular hydrogen water, it is so much more. It is
Yeah.
having the electrolytes, it is balancing
Yeah.
your gut nutrition.
Yes.
Then again, exercise protocol we discussed has to include flexibility.
I love the Celtic salt part.
Yes, it includes the flexibility, and so exercise in that routine. And all these things is respecting the mitochondria, respecting the cellular mechanics of life, basically, if you can say more of like that. And having the right supplements. There are some supplements like urolithin A. Less people talk about it, but it's a
yeah. I mean, the known people are talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Berberine, again, a
Yeah.
beautiful supplement which works on your mitochondria directly.
Yeah.
So where were we? So we were at the air body, neuroplasticity. I was saying reading is one biohack, which you should all and we should all inculcate.
And you said how many minutes of daily?
10 minutes
10
of reading can reduce your cortisol levels by 68%.
Wow.
And it outperforms having a cup of green tea. It
Or
outperforms walking.
ashwagandha.
It outperforms listening to music. That's how powerful scientifically it is. It is
Really?
I'm
I
quoting a
thought
statement.
music was more powerful than.
It's more
reading.
powerful than reading, because see, music is definitely powerful,
Yeah.
but reading 10 minutes a day builds those new neuroplastic connections, keeps your brain alive. And if you pair it with the other things like neuroplasticity, I do neurovisors. There are a lot of devices which can activate different areas of your brain.
So we have to watch your Instagram to like sort of learn about those,
Ideally.
because you could ideally, right? That is important, because then only we learn, right?
Yes. Oxytocin, your connection chemical. Then serotonin, your happiness hormone. Endorphins, your natural painkiller. And then anandamide, a molecule which is named after bliss, which is your endocannabinoid systems getting activated, the runner's high which we used to label.
Yeah.
And the last is the norepinephrine or the adrenaline, which makes you drive.
Yeah.
So this is a state which you can train, and all these 6 neurochemicals release in your brain to give you motivation to just flow with life.
Yeah.
And it is there is to train, it's a cycle. And the first thing is, number one, what can bring you into the flow state? First thing is attention. You need to do something you love with full attention. So here I'll say that you cannot multitask into flow state. You cannot be doing 10 things at a time.
Yeah.
You have to do one thing. For example, for me, it is laparoscopy surgery. When I do a surgery, endometriosis or cancer, which is very tough and very challenging, I don't care whoever is calling me. I have to do a podcast with you. I actually forget everything. And that's flow state, because so first thing is you have to do something which you love. Monotask, only full attention. Second, you have to make that optimally hard. If it is very easy, you won't go into flow. If it is very hard, you won't go into flow. It has to be an optimally hard, which you think you can do it. For example, a surgery. Sometimes we, as surgeons, we also don't know what to do next step, and we just do gentle dissection. And one thing leads to another. Same is with patients. We don't know, like with the patient you mentioned, it's such inflammatory things. You get one test done, and then you get one clue after another.
Yeah.
So you need
it's a constant discovery.
You need to do something which you love. And then you need to make it optimally hard. For a surfer, surfing, that can be one of the biggest wave which he's surfing on. And then third, you release. For a runner, for a surfer, for a laparoscopic surgeon, or for an internal medicine specialist, you release. Sometimes you don't know what should I do for this patient, and then you release and surrender, and then you get that intuition. You connect all the dots, and you get an scientific solution.
Yeah.
And then you do it. The surfer, the runner gets into that flow state, and in that state, time passes strangely around you. There is loss of sense of passage of times. Hours may feel like minutes. Minutes might expand and dilate into hours. And we all have some or the other time experienced that state.
Yeah, of course.
Then comes the last stage of flow, which most people miss. And that is why most people don't get into this flow state more often. And that is recovery. coming back to sleep being my number one biohack. Because after you have that intense 6 neurochemicals in your brain, if you don't recover, if you don't rest, if you don't get your right deep sleep with the help of these yellow goggles, with cellular hydration, nutrition, etc., avoiding inflammatory foods, then if you don't recover, then you don't get into flow state again next day. If you recover, then you can start again and get, so it's like a muscle training. You can train the flow cycle, and you can be in more flow. For this, I made a song, Go With the Flow.
Yeah, I've heard that on Spotify.
That's my biohacking protocol now.
Yeah.
It's on Apple Music also now.
Oh, it is, right?
And I've made a Go With the Flow part 2, which is called Quantum Mirror. Because again, I believe like water, again, the 70% figure is so strikingly coincidental, which is
70% water. Yeah.
So water is the biggest element where you can activate your quantum dimension, and you can, we may get into sci-fi that parallel versions of our life exist, but they actually do. So just towards the end, I will just mention last things about quantum biology. Like, it has been proven that a cell, the electron outside the cell, it is in superposition. Like, it is in more than one places at the same time. It has been proven, and this has been published. People have got Nobel Prize for it. Quantum tunneling, superimposition is that a electron, a particle, is at more than one place or two or multiple places at the same time.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
And it has been proven. The only strange, spooky thing about quantum and soul, nothing has been yet proven about soul, but we all believe it, right?
We all believe it.
So same is, I think that soul connection and that quantum connection is the same. We have that quantum spark is our soul, because once the soul leaves our body, once you break that quantum coherence in the cells, there is no coming back. We haven't yet been able to revive life from once the soul departs or once the quantum connection. So if a atom particle, which has been proven, exists at multiple places at the same time, then so do we.
Then there is so many, we can have many existences.
So there is something called as the observer effect in quantum mechanics. That is once you observe, for example, Arpit Bansal and Dr. Anjali sitting right now doing a podcast, then we collapse all the multiple possibilities right now, and we collapse into one existing one, which is right now, which is now. So again, and so it might be getting a little sci-fi for everybody, but
that's okay. We don't mind the sci-fi, but the movies are going to be made on it.
No, movies are already made, but this is actually, I meet people.
Can give me one example of a similar movie on this concept? Is there
about
anything?
time dilatation? I don't watch movies, so I don't.
No, I love movies. There is a Back to the Future.
More like the Now You See Me.
Now You See Me, yeah.
A little bit like, I don't know, this quantum mechanics. I have not gone through any movies because I love listening to podcasts, doing podcasts like this one. But I don't watch movies too much.
Yeah, because movies are a very simple way of educating.
So one book which I would, for young people, there was a question, so I'll come to that. What advice would I give to young doctors? Is stay curious, stay kind, and don't forget yourself in the system. Because if you forget that, the passion is gone, the drive is gone, then even if you live till 150, what will you do? So you should not forget and be close to nature. And one legacy which I would leave is like making people through their healing journey reconnect with nature, reconnect with water, reconnect to their elements, and making their healing journey a part of nature. That if you do this, so medicine 3.0 with AI, everything is going to merge.
Yeah. I also think that given, like, just to add on what you're saying, I think psychedelics will become a part 100%. Of healing.
Beautiful topic. I love functional mushrooms. Before we jump into psychedelics, let's go into functional mushrooms.
I love.
We were talking about
topic.
reishi.
Reishi.
Reishi is again a mushroom. So functional mushrooms are mushrooms which don't give you that psychedelic high. Don't give you that high.
It's like the difference between hemp and cannabis.
Same of, plant. They don't have the psilocybin, which is the high chemical. But it is beautiful. Like, people with allergies, people with sleep issues can benefit tremendously. And
you said that you know somebody who makes
I can connect you to Indian companies also. There are tons of external companies. There is a company which I am their doctor on board called Intelligent Labs. It's based in Estonia. I write some good articles for them. There are so many nutraceuticals. We don't have time
Yeah,
today. Like
yeah.
phosphatidylserine is the new
Oh, I give that to 80% of
phosphatidylserine.
my women,
Yeah.
postmenopausal women.
Yes.
Yeah. And sometimes higher dose than required.
It's much better than a SSRI.
Of course,
It's so much better, and it's amazing. It's the amazing era we are all living in, and I think we should keep flowing with life, and everything is possible in this life.
Yeah.
Have that passion in you, so don't just forget yourself.
Yeah. It's always a learning curve. Like,
And about the psychedelics, so microdosing of mushrooms and is very, very common outside India, getting more common day by day.
I
And
was gonna attend a retreat in Amsterdam. Regarding the psilocybin therapy, and
so like it's great. I think India definitely there are some rules, so we need to abide by the
it's
rules.
not even like easily available everywhere. It's in
And
very
we need to go by the rules, but I'm saying microdosing and all, it can open the consciousness. That is why I'm going to this existential consciousness, because there are some deep scientists I'm hoping to meet and connect some exchange of thoughts, because ultimately we talk about health. They may be not doctors, but we are ultimately talking about the consciousness of our health. What we are, what is the super consciousness, what is the collective human consciousness. And I think the era we are living in, with AI coming in, many people are skeptical in that red mind that we have been shown too many movies about AI machines fighting with humans, but why do we always see the negative aspect of it?
No, we should use it to our benefit.
I'm an extreme optimist, so I believe that AI
it can be so much beneficial.
Like our friends, we'll train them to do so many amazing things together.
Yeah. I don't see them as
we can build the collective consciousness with the AI consciousness, and everybody has so much knowledge. It's, I think, very interesting times of the world we are living in.
I'm from the time when there was no cell phone.
Yeah.
I'm from that time.
Yeah.
There was no cell phone. Wellness hack you swear by is sleep.
And ice bath.
An ice bath. Okay. Underwater meditation or gym workout? What keeps you fitter?
I cannot choose one. Both.
Okay, so both is fine. One book, podcast that changed your thinking.
Blue Mind.
Yeah.
And another thing, which is Life on the Edge.
Life on the Edge.
The Coming Age of Quantum Biology by Jim Khalili and John Joe.
Okay.
It's a beautiful book, guys. If you want to dive into the quantum effects of biology.
I think I'll do this on my flight. I have a flight also day after. Harder, doing surgery or convincing patient to change their lifestyle?
If the situation is already gone beyond hands, for example, let's take a case of piles, which is very simple. Then surgery to treat the acute inflammation, an acute issue, but then definitely changing the lifestyle and working on the root cause, why it happened in the first place. That can happen with the medicine 3-point approach, which we have been discussing. So both. Again.
Both
again. But in the right order.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to modify if a person is obese. I do bariatric surgeries also. I'm trained in that. So with that, you need to first build the mindset. You need to first do the lifestyle changes, and then if anything,
then you should do a bariatric, not just straight dive into.
Great towards favor of bariatric, so I don't push my patients.
I was at some point, but now I'm not. I feel that I've seen too many.
But definitely, obesity is a disease, and if the patient is already up in that stage where nothing else can bring him or her back, then doing bariatric is not a bad option.
No, it's not a bad option at all. It's just that
but again, that has to be, the mindset has to be brought that the lifestyle modification are still needed to be done.
Oh yeah.
It's not a thing that magic button.
It's not a
and the magic wand question is good.
So if you had a magic wand, since we talked about magic wand so much, what will you change?
If I'm stuck to this timeline, the current timeline which we are living in, then I will make proactive medicine testing free to everybody and make it compulsory, mandatory, so that we all have data. And like that mindset, I'll not build up that data stealing and AI. People are a lot that your data will be stolen, and what will happen? Nothing will happen. You're getting fitter. You'll integrate everything.
Yeah.
And if I have the liberty to change timelines with the magic wand, then I'll love to go back to 1950 and at the time where antibiotics have been discovered, and with the current knowledge, and
Hmm.
then change the whole system, how we think about health, so
Hmm.
that the bad effects not messing up with the soil microbiome and our gut microbiome, and making more judicial choices from current knowledge from a 1950s or a 1960s era.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. And I'm hoping the viewers have enjoyed this extensively intellectually stimulating talk with Dr. Arpit Bansal. And we are going to wind up this session. And thank you so much
My pleasure.
for being here. And
Mm.
it was very informative, even for me. Like it's like those neurons are forming. Like, I want to learn more. So no, thank you so
No,
much.
no, my
And
pleasure.
I know you came all the way from Allahabad to
So
do
I was
this.
just
And
on my onward journey. Thank you so much.